Hey YouTube family, this is Andre, and welcome back to another Clash of Clans video. Today's video is part 2 of our Super Queen Charge attack strategy post-update. For those of you that haven't seen part 1 of the attack strategy guide, I'm going to link it on the screen right now because it's going to describe a whole bunch of stuff that we're not going to talk about in part 2. So for today, which is part 2 of this guide, I'm going to be explaining the strategy more using different bases as examples, like the one you see here on the screen. If I was going for just Dark Elixir, loot on the inside where the storages are, or on the outside, or even on the outside and inside. What role your king plays, the extra 30 seconds you get during an attack post-update, why Super Queen Charge is, in my opinion, better than regular Super Queen, and the best way to gauge where your queen will walk, etc, etc, etc. We're going to be talking about a lot of stuff in this episode. It's going to be about 16 minutes. The first episode is about 18, but altogether it's going to be over 30 minutes. The reason I'm making this video over 30 minutes, even though it's broken into 2 parts, is because I want to give you as detailed a guide as possible, giving you a whole bunch of examples, showing you visually how you actually attack different kinds of bases, because you guys really like my G-Barch videos and other strategy guides where I take a long time to tell you every single little detail about the attack strategy, how I do it, what you think about it, what you can improve on, where I mess up, how you can change it up, and everything else like that. So let's get into it. So as I stated in the beginning of the video, the first thing we're going to talk about is explaining the strategy more using different bases. So this base has loot in the inside with Golden Elixir and Dark Elixir, and it also has loot on the outside because of the boost. I recorded this while we actually had that 1 gem boost, so we don't have it anymore, but I'm showing you this video so it can give you an example just in case there are collectors that are full on the outside. So I'm going to randomly interject between thought processes when something important comes up that I really want to talk about. So as you can see, my healers are taking damage and actually dying. This is why I bring 4 healers. 4 healers is the max amount of healers that you want to bring because diminishing returns happen after that. With this Super Queen Charge, usually 1 or 2 healers die, so it's a good idea to bring 4, or that's what I do personally, because 1 usually dies and then you still have 3 healers to keep up your queen. So the reason why I love this attack strategy so much more than Super Queen itself is because you have so much more flexibility. I unfortunately messed up here with my giants and didn't create an opening so they can go into the center of the base, but even then, if I did have an opening right there, they wouldn't go inside because there's no defenses in the first or even second layer that I would have broken into in the core. They were more scattered around the outside, so they were likely to just swing around anyways, but the main reason I wanted to show you this clip is because it has collectors on the outside that are full, and I mess up in this attack. So my giants go around the outside, which is a very big problem since all my wizards are on the inside, just taking damage by those defenses, but I just wanted to show you guys the capability of this attack strategy. Now this isn't a very high level Town Hall 9, but you can see that the queen is still being healed up, there's no more defenses, and the giants are going around the outside with 1 wizard behind them, but you can take out a large chunk of the base even if you mess up, and usually get a 1 or 2 star, so it's really nice having your queen walk around the base, taking out all those collectors that were full, and then charging into the center, taking out a whole bunch of defenses, and then being able to get those storages in the center as well. So this is why I think it's so much better attack strategy than just the original Super Queen. You can still do it with Super Queen, it's just a little bit more complicated, and you don't have that charge ability with all those giants, wizards, and archers right behind them. So even while messing up, with the Crystal 3 full bonus, we have 564,420 gold, 691,686 elixir, and 2,503 dark elixir. So let's go into our next attack, which is mostly going to consist of Dark Elixir, because this guy has 3,663 Dark Elixir, he has 400,000 Elixir and 213,000 gold, which isn't that great for gold, but I mostly want to get that Elixir because I'm trying to level up my Queen. So this base is a perfect example of why I like Super Queen Charge a little bit more than regular Super Queen. As you can see, there is a Dark Elixir pump which is pretty full on the top, and there is also another Dark Elixir pump on the bottom, so they're on opposite ends of this map. both of those pumps contain about 600 Dark Elixir each, so it's really important to get that, and the reason why I love Super Queen Charge a little bit more is because you can use 2 giants, a couple of archers, and a couple of wizards to get one of those pumps, and then work your way down on the opposite side with your Queen Walk, and then charge into the center of the base, knowing that you already have those 2 pumps and you can focus on the center of the base getting that Dark Elixir storage and anything else in there. So after I get those 2 pumps, I have about 1,200 Dark Elixir already, and I just started the first phase of my attack technically with my Queen Walk. So she took quite a bit of damage from those point defenses, but I know she's going to be healed back up with my healers, and I'm paying very close attention to her health so that I can use her ability when needed. You want to use it at the last second because a lot of times you think you might need it, but then she takes 1 or multiple point defenses out, and then you can see slowly her health is increasing. So it might not go all the way back up to full, but after she takes 1 or 2 defenses out, if she doesn't introduce 2 more by walking a little bit, then her health will go from 40% to 45% to 50%, and it'll slowly increase like that. So the longer you can save her ability, the better your raid is going to be overall. Also, I suggested to have 2 rage spells in part 1 of this attack strategy guide because you could always use a rage spell on your healers. As you just saw, one of my healers went down, so I only have 3 healers on my queen. If I wanted to save her ability right there, I could always use a rage spell on my healers and the queen herself to give her an extra damage boost, but that would actually heal my queen up even quicker using that rage spell on the healers, and then I could save her ability for a later time. So you previously just saw the first phase of the attack, which is the Queen Walk. This is the second phase, which is the Charge. And what you're going to want to do is open up as many compartments as you can with your 4 wall breakers, and then you're going to want to use your jump spell. Unfortunately, I can only break into the first compartment using my 4 wall breakers, so that's where I used my jump spell to get into the core of this base. Now, one thing to note is that your healers most of the time, once your queen is still alive and at full health, will go onto your giants. And this is perfectly fine. They'll be healed up throughout the whole entire raid until the air defenses that are left take out the rest of the healers. At this point, you're going to usually want to use your heal spell after all of the healers are down so that your giants will last until the very end. At this point during the raid, I already have almost all of the gold and all of the elixir. My queen is being healed by the last healer, and I have giants in the southern part being taken out by the king, but my queen is going to come in clutch, take out that king, and the giants are going to tank a little bit longer as my queen takes out that elixir storage. So we have pretty much all of the loot here. We definitely have all the dark elixir. We still have 2 healers up that are healing my queen, so this is looking really good, guys. But unfortunately, we do run out of time, and since we are in Crystal 2 now, we're going to get 268,792 gold, 389,547 elixir, and 3,883 dark elixir. So that is awesome. And on the note of running out of time in the previous video, I wanted to talk about that extra 30 seconds that we got post-update, which makes this attack possible. So it would have been a lot harder to get through that much of the base with 30 less seconds. So one of the things that's nice post-update is that we have those extra 30 seconds to kind of relax and queen walk a little bit more. So that's one thing if you're going to start using this attack strategy to practice, because depending on the base, you're going to want to spend maybe a minute or maybe 30 seconds queen walking, and then start the next phase of your attack by using your charge. Depending on how many defenses you can take out, how far along you can queen walk, it all really depends, and you kind of have to get a feel for it. But if you want to 3-star a base, you're going to want to make sure to always be looking at your timer. So in all honesty, these clips that I've shown you in the previous part 1 and this part 2 video are the first couple of times that I've tried out this strategy. So it's not that complicated, but there are certain steps to it and you do have to practice it. One of the things that I've definitely noticed by using it and practicing it is that when I use a queen walk in Clan Wars, I'm a lot more efficient. I know to look at the time and make sure that I'm queen walking for only a certain amount of time before using my second part of my attack. So right here I should have used my poison spell first instead of my rage spell, and I definitely should have queen walked a little bit more until I could have got those CC troops with my queen, but my queen was going down and I kind of panicked a little bit, but it turned out alright. As I was saying before, even if you mess up a little bit, this strategy is pretty solid. So you have the healers on your queen, you can always use her ability, you have a heal spell, you have a rage spell to use on your queen and the healers, and you can use a heal spell and rage on your giants, wizards, and archers, so even if you mess up on your queen walk, your charge will do a lot of damage to the base, and vice versa, if you mess up on your charge, your queen will still take out a lot of the base with those 4 or 3 healers that are still up healing her. But this attack strategy is the most destructive when you can get both the queen walk and the charge correct and not mess up on either of those, because then you have a perfect combination of taking out a whole bunch of defenses before even laying down a lot of troops, and then the second phase of your attack you lay down all the troops and then take out the rest. So what we're going to do now is go back to base, we have a full entire army trained up, and we're going to do a live attack. So one thing to note, and as you can tell on my screen, with all of these attacks that I've shown you so far in part 1 and part 2, my king has been upgrading. So one of the things you want to do with your king is you want to use your king for the charge part so he can tank and actually do a lot more damage going in the center of the base. Unfortunately with me, I usually have either my queen or my king always upgrading, so one of the two. So in all of those attacks, including this one, I didn't have my king, and that would have changed the game a lot for me because a king can do a whole bunch of damage and tank a lot for you. So first things first, you're going to want to clear away some buildings. I'm setting 2 giants down with a couple of archers behind them so I can clear away as many buildings as I can for that corner pocket, and then set my queen down on the left side of that barracks so that hopefully she'll just take out, you know, that archer tower and the cannon, and then keep on walking to the left and take out that air defense, and then keep on walking down. She's going to have a lot of point defenses on her once she hits that army camp, so I'm probably going to have to either use her ability or a rage spell on her and my healers, but I think I'm going to save that rage spell because I don't know, I guess I didn't wait till I had another rage spell. I only have 1 rage spell, so I'm going to use that to get into the center of the base once all my troops are there. So I'm not going to use a rage spell on her, I'm going to actually use her ability. So we have a level 2 Expo shooting her, we have the archer tower, and now we have a wizard tower. So she's taking a lot of damage. She's going to take out this air defense and then go for that wizard tower. I'm going to use her ability, and then after you use your ability, you're going to want to start the second phase of your attack and kind of spread out your giants a little bit. As you saw, there was a giant bomb there, which I thought, so I put 2 giants or 1 giant there. I tried to only put 1. You're going to use my rage spell right here, and then use some wizards to start focusing all the rest of my troops into the center, and use a heal spell. I used my jump spell a little bit too late, so all my giants are going around the outside, but that's fine because there's not too many defenses that are shooting my DPS troops. There's a skeleton trap, so that's fine. They're going to die pretty quick. The Expo is still shooting my queen, and hopefully my healers will go to the queen instead of those giants because the giants are pretty much healed up. There's 1 healer that's going to my queen. I have 1 wizard that he just wants to go in there, and he's taking out that town hall. We're gonna throw in the rest of my troops, and then it looks like everything's going pretty well. My queen's in there, but I don't think she's gonna get that jump spell, so she's probably gonna go to the right after she takes out this town hall. My giants are taking out that Expo, perfect. So that Expo is not gonna be too much of a problem. Actually, it's not gonna be a problem at all anymore, is what I meant to say. So my giants are going to die up there from those Teslas since there's no more healers on them, but my healers are on the queen, so my queen can queen walk a lot more. I used my clan castle, and I thought there was going to be giants in there, but there's a P.E.K.K.A. because I request giants, P.E.K.K.A., golems, wizards, etc., etc. The P.E.K.K.A. went around the outside and took a whole bunch of buildings out, but that's fine. It did its job and got me over 78%, so I'm going to get the full bonus for this. My queen is taking out this clan castle, has I think 4 or 3 healers still on her, so she'll be able to take out at least a couple of these defensive buildings and then be fine in the long run, and I hope, because I've already used her ability and I don't have another rage spell. So there's only 1 more Tesla, everything's looking good. We got 19 seconds, gonna take out this air defense and then hopefully go for this gold storage because I really want to get that. There's still about 70k, so if we can get this, that'll be perfect. I don't really need the elixir that much, but I definitely want the gold. Oh, perfect. Alright, so she got that at the last second. 359,000 gold. 172,000 elixir, 2,500 dark elixir, 21 cups, and the crystal 3 bonus of 40,000 golden elixir and an extra 120 dark elixir. So that was a pretty good raid. Could have searched a little bit more for a better raid, but I thought that would be good enough for you guys just to show you guys a live raid. Gonna upgrade one wall. Woo! 3 million gold for one wall. But that's it for the Super Queen charge attack strategy. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to smash that like button, share this with your friends and clanmates, and as always, make sure to be subscribed. Alright guys, peace!